Okay, good morning, everybody. You're watching the Patriot Preaches. My name is Ashwin Tachari. Today is July 31st. We have an amazing show for you today. This might be my last show on YouTube because, the UK is enforcing you to utilize your ID. They're implementing an AI ID system. Right, so when you sign into YouTube, you're going to have to verify your ID. You're giving up a lot of personal information, and with the rise of Palantir, I'm not going to be using YouTube. I do not want to. So I hope this is just a fear-mongering tactic, but I don't think so. It's just going to be used as a Trojan horse to single out the people who are quote-unquote anti-Semitic, who criticize, the fifth column that we are being controlled by. So, I mean, I suggest you guys do not, everybody that's on YouTube, you guys need to stop. Do not use YouTube. If it pops up, ID verification, do not use it. You got Twitch, you got Rumble, Kick, so just use that. But or go on a guest account. So do not make an account for YouTube. Do not give up your ID because you're gonna get fucked. So I mean, we're gonna talk about the new fiber optic drones, or not new, but I'm gonna talk about how they work in warfare and and the reason being that why Russia is winning the war. And we're gonna be talking about how Netanyahu is giving an ultimatum, right, plan to Hamas to annex to Hamas, right, and if they don't agree, they will annex Gaza, and they will begin by annexing the Gaza Strip, right. So that's gonna be fun. We'll be talking about that. Uh, and also, do you guys like the new? You guys like the new widget? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's like a square. Look at that. I'm just. It's cool, right? I think it's cool. But I made it last night. It's on YouTube. I was like searching up a tutorial how to make an animated widget, animated widget, and then like I just found this. I'm like, oh, this looks fire. I'm gonna use it. And I also changed the logo because, bro, my friend he said the logo was trash. I made it look better. I mean, I think this logo looks 10 times better than like the diagonal the Patriot preaches. This is like nice. This is like cool, simple. TPP. It's nice. Anyways, let's get started. I mean, we're going to get started with Netanyahu proposing a U.S. supported plan to annex Gaza. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is set to propose his political security cabinet a U.S. supported plan to begin annexing the Gaza Strip. Haaretz reported on Monday. The report said that the plan is being proposed to appease Israel Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and prevent him from quitting the government. Right. Why is this? I talked about this actually. Wait. Why is it just coming up? Okay, yeah, well, I did talk about this actually. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, okay, this is the new. Okay, there we go. So this is actually the news story, right? Israel does not tells Hamas it will start annexing parts of Gaza if it doesn't agree to Israel's ceasefire terms. Right? They have sent a message to Hamas that if the group does not accept the latest ceasefire proposal, Israel will start annexing parts of Gaza, especially the buffer zones first. Right? The buffer zones I talked about were like the borders, the edge of the strip, and they're gonna keep going in and in and in. That's what's gonna happen. Right. According to Israel's Channel 12, Israel gave mediators its response to Hamas's latest proposal on Tuesday night and isn't expecting Hamas to accept the offer. Israel is threatening that if Hamas doesn't agree to its terms, it will start annexing the so-called buffer zone Israel established along the Israel-Gaza border that cuts into the Gaza territory. Bibi Netanyahu had proposed the idea of annexing Gaza to appease Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who was threatening to quit the government over a small amount of aid, and we talked about this a couple days ago, right, that has been allowed into Gaza in recent days due to the international outrage over Israel's starvation of Palestine. Right. And another report published by Haaretz on Wednesday downplayed the threat of annexation, suggesting that it was only a negotiating tactic. It's not something that's about to happen. An unnamed Israeli minister told the outlet. Haaretz's initial report said that the idea of annexation was supported by Trump and his admin, right, the GOP. However, the Channel 12 report said that there is no appetite within the White House to greenlight the Israeli annexation parts of Gaza. Amid the reports of Israel's potential plans to start annexing Gaza, U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff heading to the region, according to Axios. He is traveling to Israel to discuss ceasefire talks and the humanitarian situation in Gaza, as Palestinians have begun starving to death every day due to U.S. and Israeli-backed siege on territory. They need to end this. I've seen the starvation deaths. I've seen the people who have starved to death. They are very ill. Right, if you go on Instagram, yeah, you'll see pictures of the corpses, and it's really bad. So I mean, this has to stop. This has to stop, or it will go down in history as one of the worst genocides, inhumane, evil genocides to ever taken place. Right? Witkoff blamed Hamas for the latest breakdowns in talks. Though there's no sign the U.S. was putting any pressure on Israel to make concessions to reach a deal, Hamas's long-standing offer has been that it's willing to release all the remaining Israeli captives in exchange for a permanent ceasefire. But Israel has refused those terms because they do not want a permanent ceasefire. They want a temporary ceasefire that they can break. Right. Instead of a permanent deal, the two sides have been discussing a 60-day truce, and Hamas has been looking for stronger guarantees to the U.S. that the temporary ceasefire would lead to a permanent one. Right. And that's the story for that. Right. I mean, that's the latest, and it's showing. Right. That's their plan is, it's working. Israel is stepping, going in guns blazing. They do not give a fuck. And our people in our government can't even the people in the GOP are not doing anything. We need someone who we can rally behind. And I've been saying this time and time again, dude. We need to get people from Gen Z in the government. Otherwise, like as long as these boomers are in the GOP, it's wraps. It's not gonna be good. And it's like what I mean, if you're gonna attack the bear, right? If Trump's gonna attack Israel, right? He's gonna throw a small jab. You're gonna get it mad. You're gonna get the bear mad. Whereas if you were to full force attack the bear without it knowing, boom, took him out, you have a much better shot of replacing the GOP, right? And I understand he's probably in the Epstein files, right? Right, but it's a two-way situation because if Biden was not in it, he would have exposed Trump already. But Biden is in it, I'm pretty sure, right? Which is why when the Dems were in charge, they did not release it. So this is another problem, right? We have both sides are corrupt. I think Trump is going to be a good stepping stone. He's going to be he paved the way for us, but we need to reclaim what we really stand for, and we need to portray that in the next election. And if he gets impeached and J.D. Vance takes over, then that's going to be even worse. I think J.D. Vance is worse than Trump because this guy is not even a Republican. This guy used to be a Democrat. He used to hate Trump. He's friends with all the tech oligarchs, and he's probably in charge of this new YouTube censorship, along with Palantir. So this is gonna be a fucked situation. This is gonna be a fuck fest. Right, and we can move on to how things are going on, how recent developments have been going on in Ukraine and Russia. So, as far as July 31st, a Russian drone attack in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, has killed at least 4 people. The ground forces of the armed forces of Ukraine said on Telegram the debris from drowned Russian drones fell near a garage cooperative, which led to the ignition of a gas pipe in a 3-story residential building. Right. Also, Russian missile strike on a Ukrainian military training unit on Tuesday killed 3 servicemen and injured 18 more. Ukraine's ground forces also announced on Telegram this as well. Russian forces shelled Ukrainian emergency service workers who had just put out a fire in the city of Okriv in southern Ukraine's Zaporizhia region. The State Emergency Service of Ukraine said in a post on Facebook there were no injuries. Ukraine's domestic security agency has detained an Air Force officer for holding the rank of major on charges of having spied for Russia by leaking the location and suggesting strike tactics on prized Western-donated F-16 Mirage 2000 fighter jets. Right. And regarding international relations, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said he approved key principles for large-scale weapons deals with the United States. quote, "These are large-scale agreements which I have discussed with President Donald Trump, and I hope very much that we will be able to implement them all." Quote, Zelensky said in his evening video address to the nation without providing any further details. The Italian government also said that it had summoned the Russian ambassador to protest against Italy's President Sergio Mattarella being included in a list compiled by Moscow of Western leaders accused of anti-Russian sentiment. As far as the economy goes, a massive low-cost invasion is threatening sunflower and other crops in Ukraine's southern regions, largely caused by the war against Russia's invasion, which makes it impossible to use traditional pest control methods near the front line, officers and producers say. And the reason why, right, I'm going to get into why Russia's winning is because of these new fiber optic drones that they have created in 2024, and Ukraine is following suit as well. And Ukraine is now advancing their drone warfare as well because of watching Russia and how they've capitalized on that. And Russia has the ability to deploy these fiber optic drones, and the reason being is because the fiber optics are some of the world's most highly efficient information carrying cables. The speed of light traveling along a thin, strong, wiry line of glass. They're very thin, they're very lightweight, very strong and wiry. Some of these fiber optics can be about as thin as a single human hair strand and deliver about 32 terabytes of data per second. Right, fiber optic comes into play during drone warfare because most drones receive their flight instructions via radio signals sent from their pilot from a remote or like a controller. But these drones are vulnerable to RDF, radio directional finding detection, and susceptible to interference by radio jamming, right, by the cybersecurity people, like people in their military sector that do cybersecurity, the hackers, right, people who specialize in that field. When the drone is connected by a fiber optic tether, it is essentially invincible to detection and radio jamming because jammers emit radio frequencies interfering with drone control and GPS signals, forcing the drone to become unresponsive. Right, and these FPV drones carry out aerial bombings, crash attacks, and explode upon impact, and can be deployed in swarms to overwhelm the opposition, similar to how Hezbollah utilized relentless attacks to attack the Iron Dome in Tel Aviv. So a lot of people, a lot of militant groups utilize these fiber optic drones, and they're very, trust me, these fiber optic drones really are effective, right? If you've seen the videos, these guys are going in swarms of drones at tanks, and they're just exploding upon impact, destroying tanks with minimal effort. It's uh, it's just very easy for them, right? And I have a map of the Gaza Strip, and I want to show you guys what they're talking about, right? What is going to be annexed? All right, so what's going to be annexed here? I need to like dude, this is like, is this a camera? Oh my god, that's not the camera. This is the camera. Okay. Okay. Is this good? Hold up. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Give me a second. Okay. Dude, I feel like it's still like, hold up. Okay, I think that's good, bro. Okay. So, this is the Gaza Strip, right? Right here. This is this Gaza Strip. I'm on it. And what they're gonna be, this is the buffer zone right here along the edge. Like, look, if you look at my cursor, I'm going around it like that. That is the buffer zone. And they've advanced it. It used to be here. It used to be here, but as of April, they have expanded upon that. Anyways, this is the buffer zone. They've expanded it to about a little farther. Right, so it used to be here. Expanded it to there. Right, I traced it about to the green line. And let's see. That is what they're trying to annex, right? So how they're gonna annex it is they're gonna go from here, and then they're gonna keep going inwards slowly. Boom, 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 until they get to here, Nusrat, and then they're just gonna. So they're trying to take control of this whole strip, which is what's happening. All right. Enough of that. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's about it for the Gaza Strip. And I mean, we're gonna be the YouTube censorship is gonna take place, right? And they say it's for kids safety, but it's a Trojan horse. So I'm probably gonna be on Kick or Rumble. And if you guys wanna catch me on Kick and Rumble, I'll make the handle. You know, my friend's making me a layout for all my handles, my X, my TikTok, because I need to get clips out. So I'll be on Kick and Rumble probably tomorrow. And thank you guys for watching. I've got to get going. I've got to do something. I think my mom called me. I've got to go do something. But it's like when you're in the middle of a show and your mom calls you, and it's like you just get mad, bro. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I mean, thank you for watching the VOD. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Tomorrow will be August 1st. So I'm going to be changing the time of the show as well because I'm going to have school. So yeah. Thank you for watching.